Hi, let's talk about the top 3 things that we need in order to receive more love. I had a teacher tell me once that my number one responsibility was, and this knocked me out of my seat initially, was my own happiness. What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I need to make sure everybody else is happy because then I won't, if I don't do that, they're not going to love me. They're not going to be available. They're not going to think that I'm enough. I was so enrolled in that I was so busy all the time tending to all these people out there, and I was forgetting about me. I realized that no matter what was doing or what I could do, that whoever I was doing it for, they got to decide if they were going to be happy or not. They got to decide if they were going to receive what I was offering or not me. It wasn't under my control at all. So what? This was like a total reframe. I went, oh my gosh. So, what do I do now? So conversely, like if somebody's wanting to bring me something or do something for me, or if they're the most amazing offering or creature or the most abundance in the whole wide world, like I am the one that gets to decide if I receive that or not them. So like somebody prepares me this most organic meal, it's so delicious, it's like all the superfoods and amazing. What it would just sit there if I didn't do anything, right? I need to engage and respond to that in a way that makes me be able to receive it. So what are those things? The first thing is that we need to be open. What does that mean? Like either consciously or unconsciously, we're deciding all the time if we want to take something in, or if we are wanting to move towards, or if we're wanting to stand in presence and actually receive it, or if we're closing and moving away. And there can be very good reasons why we're not opening or don't want to be open. It could be trauma, it could be not the appropriate situation, it could be completely unconscious that we're even blocking the receiving. So the first thing is we need to open to receive, right? The second is, are we feeling safe? So what that means is, on a very primal level, we are always checking if we're safe. Is it, am I going to die? Like if I actually engage in this and I'm open, which makes me vulnerable, and am I going to be safe? Is this thing going to be okay for me to do or receive or have? And thank God we have that checker, like it's a primal instinct. And what can happen though is that we get stuck in survival mode in our life, and we're like not even aware of it, that this thing is happening. And so what it's doing, if that is stuck in the on position of this, like, I'm not safe, then we miss opportunities to receive. I see this a lot with clients and people that are wanting more intimacy and love and have more in their relationship, that get in situations where unconsciously they have this survival mechanism that's turned on. And what it does is it leaves them like separate, because they're like, no, I'm not going to open to that, or no, that's not safe. It leaves their partners confused. It leaves them unsatisfied, and that they don't have any access to their pleasure, which is what happens when we're out of survival responses. It's our other part of our nervous system needs to be happening in order for us to relax and receive pleasure and enjoy ourselves. That needs to be when our survival mechanism is turned off. So when our sympathetic nervous system is off and our parasympathetic nervous system gets to turn on, and we get to flow all these yummy feel good things and like receive the goodness of what is there for us. So second, that is, are we safe? Third is it the right situation for us? Is it the right person? Like going back to the thing I initially said, discernment. So is it right? Is it appropriate? So that's on a relational level. Like we have these opportunities as we grow and mature to learn, okay, what things are the most resonant? What matches our values? What is it that supports me right now? Is this person a right match for me to be receiving from? Or is this source reliable and in integrity for me to receive from? So that's on a personal in exchange level. The other is there's two other levels that we can be receiving from. I want to talk a bit about that too. There's three, and they relate to all of them. And I'm especially want to talk about the third point of is this the situation that we want to receive from, or that we're open to receiving from. So the three different places that we can be receiving from inside of our being and exchanging is on a very personal level, like within my own self. Like, am I trusting, and am I even hearing my own wisdom? Like, that's a perfect example of receiving. Like, we might hear something, but we're just ignoring our feedback, ignoring our intuition, ignoring our insight. And that's a way of not receiving part of the goodness that's here. The other is our own like self-love and appreciation. Like, are we blocking that out? Are we judging ourselves? And the third is this area of opening ourselves up to flow of between ourselves and more the universal, the unconditional, unlimited resource. So are we receiving from that? That is where we don't necessarily have to have the discerning checkers on if we have this pathway open. But the truth is that we don't always have it open or trust and lean into it because we've had some trauma in the past. Where it's either been like this mistrust or misuse of power, or a distortion that can come into our lives around like if we're so open that it's not going to be okay, we're not going to be safe, or that it's not going to be able to blend with the other things in our life. For example, some people are really open like spiritually, but the people around them don't really get it. It's like doesn't make sense, they can't relate to them. So inside you start interpreting that message as, if I'm that open, then I'm gonna not have the safety and the intimacy and the connection with the people that are important to me in my life. So sadly, that creates mixed messages in our system, and on a survival level, we're kind of prioritizing what do we need in order to survive. So if the people around us are not attending to us or giving us what we need or the love that we need in the moment, especially when we're young, we're going to prioritize that over our connection with Source and God, because if we don't have this, we're going to die. We're going to die. We think we're going to die, and we might literally do that if we don't have that need met. So we might shift our configuration to be the thing that this person over here can connect with more in order to be able to receive what it is we need on a very human level, very 3D level. So when we heal that, and then we can mature out of that, we can have it all. We can have the connection to all of it and receive on all levels. And part of that can happen by, again, healing this, trusting that I can be who I am and be in a relationship with this other being. And I'm going to be seen and accepted and loved and acknowledged and cared for who I am. And I can be this divine being that's connected to the source of all that is, and light and love, and from the ultimate source, and be resourced by that as well. So when we move through and we create those openings and trust in ourselves of like, is it appropriate? Is it okay? Is it safe? Can I open? Can I trust it? We will have more of resource, more love flowing through us, and it could be more dependable and more accessible and more reliable. It can start informing our being of this other quality of life and other frequency and magnetism, that we are connected to that eternal source, that we are abundant, that we are love itself. Yeah, that is what can start to come online. And again, we need all three of those things. We need to be open, we need to feel safe, and we need to feel like it is the right match for us. Our discernment, is this appropriate? And if any of those things aren't happening, I bet you there's a part of you that's going to pop in onto the scene in your mind or somewhere that's going to say no. And that no is a healthy no in many cases. So we want to honor that no. And sometimes that no came from some things very far in the past and some programming in the past that may or may not actually be true in the moment. But we want to listen to that no, because that no is going to give us some information, and it might have then, or even in that current moment, protected us and saved us and made it so we were safer, either literally or figuratively safer. Safer with our body, safer in our hearts, safer in our minds, safer situationally. So those no's and those parts that want to come up and block the receiving are very important, and they are necessary in the right time and place and situation. And it's also very important to kind of unpack those and learn if those are really serving you in now, or are those just blocks to your receiving? Because the blocks to the receiving that are not currently connected to what's accurate and true now are limiting your love and limiting your access to your power and limiting your access to your connection of the truth of who you are, which on a very, very central, deep level is love itself. So we're returning and finding our way back there in every moment of this life. I am here to help you through this passage, this understanding, this clearing, and access to the love and the truth of who you are. Subscribe and share this video. Connect with me through the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you more next time.